This is Wick News, where our news is lit. Hi, I'm Kyle.
And I'm Leah. And
welcome to Wick News, where our news is lit. Today we have Simone with history,
Jesse with wildlife,
Alyssa with food,
Ben with snow technology, Kyle with gaming technology,
Leah with running history,
and Will with sports. First, let's get lost with Simone and the Bermuda Triangle.
Everyone knows that the ocean is a dangerous place, but do ships and planes go missing in perfect weather? Yes. Do planes go straight off radar screens? Yes. This could possibly be one of the most dangerous places on Earth. This is the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle has 3 points: Bermuda, Puerto Rico, and Miami, Florida. If you draw a line between the places, it forms a perfect triangle. I'm here to talk to you about the most famous case of all time, Flight 19. It was December 5th, 1945. The weather was perfect for flying, and it was 67 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Lieutenant Charles Taylor was in command of 5 U.S. Navy torpedo bombers while they planned to train around the Bahamas. They took off from Fort Lauderdale in Florida at 2:10 p.m. There were 4 other pilots and 9 crew members. The planes were freshly fueled. They weren't aware of what risk awaited them in the triangle. At 3:45 p.m., Taylor sent an urgent radio message to the team at Fort Lauderdale saying he was lost. According to an article from EBSCOhost.com, he started to panic, and while all of this was happening, another pilot shouted into his radio, "We appear to be entering white water." They asked Taylor for his compass readings. He thought that the planes were over the Florida Keys. Lauderdale launched a search crew, but they didn't find Flight 19. One of the search planes even went missing. Soon, Taylor lost radio contact. The torpedo bombers never heard from him again, and there was no wreckage found. Some theories include bad weather, supernatural forces, waterspouts, Atlantis, or even aliens. Officials claim that the planes could have run out of fuel and made an emergency landing, and Taylor was inexperienced. But he was very skilled. The weather was perfect, and the planes were freshly fueled. You have to admit, they made some seriously weak claims. What if they're hiding something? Back to you, Leah.
Wow, Simone, that's interesting that planes get lost there. Now let's cast over to Jesse and his story about bass fishing.
Nothing brings a smile to my face like a good day of bass fishing, which is exactly what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to share the difference between smallmouth and largemouth bass and how to catch them. Largemouth bass have bigger mouths. Their upper jaw expands past the eye. Smallmouth bass have smaller mouths. Their upper jaw expands usually in line with their jaw. To catch largemouth and smallmouth bass, you can use live bait or fake bait. The best bait is live bait. For example, frogs, worms, and little fish. The best time of day to catch large and smallmouth bass is early in the morning. The best place to find largemouth bass is in shallow water close to land, for example, underneath branches, over the water, around rocks, and in the weeds. Smallmouth bass hang out beside the weeds in schools to catch prey. Smallmouth bass don't like heavy line. They can see it better than largemouth bass can in the light. So if you are fishing for smallmouth bass, you need to use light line. Smallmouth bass are more fun to fish for because they are more active. Largemouth bass are fun to catch too because they are really strong and pull on the line really hard, which can be fun. Which one is your favorite? So back to you, Leah and Kyle.
That was great, Jesse. Hope you catch a big one. Next up, we have Alyssa giving us a scoop on ice cream.
Today, millions of people all over the world love ice cream. Have you ever wondered how it's made? Well, I'm going to be talking to you about how ice cream is made. According to How It's Made Ice Cream, the first step is to get ready to make ice cream is for workers to load milk into cooling trucks, and then they transport the milk to the ice cream plant. Then, once at the ice cream plant, they pump milk into large tanks. According to News LA, Katie Mace is an ice cream maker. She is a worker at Downs View's Homemade Ice Cream. Katie Mace says we make a lot of flavors, but chocolate is the hardest. When she and her workers make strawberry ice cream, they stir milk, cream, sugar, eggs, and strawberries together. Then Mace pours the mixture into an ice cream machine. Then the machine spins and cools the mixture, and then she and her workers put it into tubs. According to How Stuff Works, it takes 15 to 20 minutes to make a batch of ice cream. Most ice cream factories mix the ice cream with 3,000-gallon mixers to mix the mixture to make ice cream. Here's some interesting facts about making ice cream. CBS News says Ben & Jerry's makes 250,000 pints of ice cream each day. According to referee.com, Americans eat 48 pints of ice cream per year. Ice cream is enjoyed all over the world so much, and now you know how it's made. Thanks for watching me tell you about ice cream, how ice cream is made. Back to you, Kyle and Leah.
Great job, Alyssa. I never knew you made ice cream that way.
And now let's blast over to Ben with snowmaking technology.
Have you ever thought of how ski mountains get snow when Mother Nature won't cooperate? Then I have some facts for you. Personally, as a skier, there's nothing better than going up a chairlift and looking down at the white mountain. Sometimes it isn't always white. If you want it to be all snow, you might need a snowmaker. I'm going to explain to you how the snowmaker works and where it originates from. The snowmaker came from 3 people named Art Hunt, Dave Ritchie, and Wayne Pierce in 1950, but was patented sometime in the early 1950s. They use efficient snow guns to make the snow. In order for ski mountains to make snow, they move water droplets through a hose to a nozzle at high speeds. According to NSAA.org, water use is minimized in snowmaking. Because of the water coolers, the water freezes into tiny snow pellets. Then the snow is blasted across a large radius on the trails to be groomed. You might be wondering where the water comes from. Most ski resorts have reservoirs or rivers nearby. In order for them to move the water to the mountain, they have pipes which suck up the water and send it to the mountain. I guess snowmakers have changed a lot. Back to you, Leah and Kyle.
Yeah, Ben, sounds like they changed a lot.
Now we have Kaya with assistive technology.
Have you ever wondered how people with a disability play video games? Today we'll be talking about assistive technology for disabled gamers and one of the best inventions in 2018. On May 17, 2018, Microsoft released an Xbox Adaptive Controller. This helps to empower as many gamers as possible. A normal Xbox controller has little buttons and joysticks that may be hard to control or handle for people with physical disabilities. This new device allows the user to plug in an assistive joystick that is easy to push and pull. The Xbox Adaptive Controller has big buttons that can be easily pressed with a chin or elbow. On the controller, there's many ports that can be plugged in, such as a foot pedal. Another thing you can do with this amazing product is that you can attach a stand to the back for people that may have shorter arms or a smaller hand. This stand comes in many colors and designs. Some other features include a co-pilot built in, so if the player needs help playing a game, another person is able to help them. Sean Here, one of the users of the adaptive technology, said, "Even those who cannot game will always be able to." This product became more popular as it was put on a Super Bowl commercial. This commercial shows the controller and how it works. According to GeekWire, over 1.2 billion people are playing video games now. Phil Spencer, one of the heads of the Microsoft Xbox team, believes his company is responsible for this big change, and this allows more gamers to play. Before Microsoft created this, most disabled gamers just accepted that one of their favorite hobbies was just done and they could no longer do this. Although you may think it's cool and all, there is also downsides to it. The shape of the controller could make it hard for individuals to play and maybe hard to reach for people who have no arms. So everybody out there that have a disability, one of your favorite hobbies is no longer false hope. Back to you, Leah.
It's great that so many more people get to play now.
Now let's sprint over to Leah with running.
In 1967, 20-year-old Catherine Switzer was the first woman to run the Boston Marathon in Massachusetts. In fact, no one seemed to notice that she was a girl until 2 miles in the race. Back then, no one thought that girls should run marathons. According to CatherineSwitzer.com, Catherine ran the Boston Marathon 8 times, bettering her first time in 1967 from 4 hours and 20 minutes down to an eventual 2 hours and 51 minutes in 1975. Catherine ran 39 marathons and her bib number was 261. She finished her last Boston Marathon in 4 hours and 20 minutes and retired. According to the Catherine Switzer website, Catherine Switzer's bib number 261 meant fearless in the face of adversity. She also started her own club by putting on events and getting sponsored. After it grew, she took data statistics from all of these events and had the women's marathon included in the Olympic Games. She also worked as an author, public speaker, broadcaster, and journalist. Back to you, Kyle.
That was great. Do you think you will run a marathon someday?
Yeah, I really hope to. Now over to Will giving us the kick on sports.
We all know that Duke is one of the best teams in the NCAA basketball program this year. But is it all because of Williamson and Barrett? Today I will be comparing R.J. Barrett and Zion Williamson. They're both very energetic and skilled players, but one of them is better than the other, and I'm going to tell you who. Williamson has the edge on many categories. For one, he's a rebounding machine, averaging almost 10 rebounds per game. Also, he scores very efficiently. Lastly, he's a more impactful defensive player than Barrett. With an average of 2.7 blocks per game, he could be the next Hakeem Olajuwon. One thing's for sure, when Williamson's not on the court, Duke struggles both offensively and defensively. Now for Barrett's comparison to Williamson. Barrett is known for his passing. He averages 4 assists per game. He also is the best scorer on Duke, scoring almost 23 points per game. He also has a better three-point average than Williamson. Barrett is also a better ball handler than Williamson. Barrett is 18 years of age and is 6'7". He plays small forward and power forward. Williamson has the exact same visuals as Barrett. It is clear, Williamson is definitely the better player, but is it all because it doesn't matter what I think, it is what you think. Good luck to you, Duke, in March Madness.
Will, those stats are great. That's all for today, folks. Join us next time on Wick News.
Welcome to W Pop News, where our news is poppin'. Welcome to W Pop News, where our news is poppin'. Hi, my name is Sean.
And I'm Aubrey.
And this is W Pop News.
Today we have Colin with football.
Then we have Azora with wildlife.
Next is Jaden with technology.
Then we have Gavin with weather.
Next we have Alyssa with hockey.
Then we have Aubrey talking about dance.
Finally we have Sean talking about gaming.
First, let's pop over to Colin with his story about Gronk and Kelsey.
Everyone loves the Gronk spike, but I see the best tight end in the NFL. So today we will be comparing two of the best tight ends in the NFL, Rob Gronkowski and Travis Kelce. Okay, first, let's talk about Rob Gronkowski. According to NFL head-to-head stats, Rob Gronkowski has played in 13 games and has 47 receptions. He has 682 receiving yards, and his receiving yard average is 14.5. Rob Gronkowski's longest reception was 42 yards. He had 3 receiving touchdowns and 34 receiving first downs in the 2018 to 2019 season. Now let's talk about Travis Kelce. According to NFL head-to-head stats, Kelce's played in 16 games. He has 103 receptions. Travis had 1,336 receiving yards. His receiving yard average is 13.0. Kelce's longest reception was 43 yards. He had 10 receiving touchdowns and he had 68 receiving first downs in the 2018 to 2019 season. Gronk's on the New England Patriots. He is 6 feet tall. He is 29 years old, and he weighs 268 pounds. He's been in the NFL since 2010. His head coach is Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick has won 6 Super Bowls with the New England Patriots. Kelce's on the Kansas City Chiefs. He is 6'5" tall. He is 29 years old. He weighs 260 pounds, and he has been in the NFL since 2013. His coach is Andy Reid. Andy Reid has never won a Super Bowl. According to CBS Sports by Phil Perry, Gronk has played in 38 more games than Kelce, not including the playoffs. Also, Gronk has 3,180 more receiving yards than Kelce, but Kelce's quicker than Gronk. Gronk is a better deep threat than Kelce because of his ridiculous body control and his catch radius. But Kelce is a great playmaker. Did you know Chris Collinsworth said he prefers Gronk, and also he said that the big tiebreaker is Gronk's ability to block. Like Chris Collinsworth said, I agree that Gronk is the better player, even though the stats show otherwise. Gronk's ability to block, the fact that he is a way better deep threat than Kelsey, and that he has way more experience makes him the better player. Plus, I'm a Pats fan for life. That's my opinion. Who do you think is the better player? Gronk. Back to you, Sean and Aubrey.
Here at WPOP News, we're all Pats fans too, but we are sad to see Gronk go.
Next up on the list, we have Azora howling about wolves.
Today I'm going to talk about wolves. Wolves are dog-like animals. Red, black, white, and gray are common fur colors. The wolves' long legs propel them when hunting, usually catching deer, moose, rodents, beavers, bird, elk, and fish. Big feet are found useful when resisting hard rocks and thorn plants. Long legs propel wolves when catching prey. Large ears are great for picking up small sounds from silent play. Long tails are mostly used for communication, such as tail high for leaders and low of a cub. Other communication can be sounds, yips, growls, barks, and whimpers, and body position. Slang with belly up is, I don't want to fight. Sharp teeth are great for piercing the skin of their victim. Thick tongues are for scraping meat off bones. According to Gray Wolves by Tammy Gange, wolves can weigh up to 85 to 145 pounds and 4.5 to 6.5 feet long and 2.2 through to 2.7 feet high. Wolves reach full size at around 1 year old. Wolves are such fascinating creatures. Back to you.
I never knew that there was such thing as a red wolf.
Now let's have Jaden compare and contrast the Xbox One and the PS4.
As all of you watching know, that PS4 is a big hit, same for the Xbox One these days. Some of you may like the PS4 better than the Xbox One, and some of you would rather prefer the Xbox One than PS4. Xbox One has expanded to the Xbox One S and Xbox One X over the years. PS4 has also expanded to the PS4 Pro. Sony started with the PS1 that was released earlier than the original Xbox, and Sony made their way up to the PS4. And Microsoft also expanded to the Xbox 360 for 8 years and then to the One models. The PS4 and Xbox One look completely different, as you can see behind me. The PS4 is flatter than the Xbox One, and the Xbox One is taller than the PS4. The Xbox One is more open than the PS4 because the disc insert is more hidden on the PS4 than the Xbox One. The graphics are also different on both consoles. According to Tom's Guide, the graphics are better on the PS4 than the Xbox One. I personally think the Xbox One graphics are better because all the games that I play on Xbox are also on PS4 have more clear graphics on Xbox. So how much do these consoles cost? I would prefer the price of the PS4 because it is only $300, but I have an Xbox that is worth $500. The prices are completely different than I thought. I would think the PS4 is more, but it is not. Overall, Xbox is the better console because graphics look more clear on the Xbox, and the Xbox doesn't have a hidden disc insert. Back to you, Sean and Aubrey.
I wonder what the preferred console is.
Yeah, me too.
Next we have Gavin mixing up a storm about weather.
Did you know that a single bolt of lightning is around 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit, or 5 times higher than the sun? You may think thunderstorms just have thunder, but they also have lightning. Thunderstorms mainly happen in the spring and summer because they need warm, moist air to start. Lightning starts off as static charges in a rain cloud. Then wind pushes water droplets from the bottom of the cloud up to great heights. Next, pieces of ice collect electrons from the water droplets by hitting them so hard. Now there's a cloud with a negatively charged bottom and a positively charged top. Finally, the atmosphere acts as an insulator, which prevents the flow of electricity. Sometimes it becomes so strong that lightning happens. Thunderstorms mainly happen in the spring and summer because the sun evaporates water, which goes up into the clouds above it. So that's how the clouds get water droplets in them. It happens above water sources because that's the only way clouds could get water. According to UCLA, when a negative charge from the cloud attracts a positive charge from the ground, it is too rapid for the human eyes to see and can only be seen in a slow motion video. Spring is coming, and so are thunderstorms, so be on the lookout for them. Now back to you.
I definitely don't want to be in the middle of one of those thunderstorms.
That sounds dangerous. Next, we'll have Alyssa score a goal with a story about Chara and Marshawn.
Who do you think is the better left-handed hockey player? Zdeno Chara or Brad Marchand? They both play for the Boston Bruins. Their home arena is in Boston, Massachusetts at the TD Garden. Chara and Marchand are the most respected players on the team. Chara was born on March 18, 1977 and grew up in Slovakia. Chara is the tallest player in NHL history. He is 6'9". This year, Chara has had 3 goals and 198 in his career. This year, Chara has played 37 games and 1,460 in his career. He has 31 penalty minutes this year and 1,870 in his career. Marchand was born on May 11, 1988 and grew up in Canada. Marchand is 5'9". Marchand has 21 goals and 2,417 in his career. This year, Marchand has played 55 games and in his career, he has played 657. This year, Marchand has had 82 penalty minutes, and in his career, 660. My personal opinion is that Marchand is the better player. According to the stats, Marchand is better because the stats show that Marchand has had 21 goals this year and Chara has had 3. No matter who's better, I'm still cheering for the Bruins. Back to you, Sean and Aubrey.
Wow, Alyssa, I wonder who the better player is. Now let's twirl over to Aubrey with her story about Misty Copeland.
Did you know that Misty Copeland was the first African-American woman to dance at American Ballet Theater? Copeland was born on September 10, 1982 in Kansas City, Missouri. She started studying ballet when she was 13 at San Pedro Dance Center. Misty Copeland was 15 when she got a scholarship to San Francisco Ballet's Summer Intensive program. In the year of 2000, Copeland got a scholarship to American Ballet Theater, or ABT's Summer Intensive program. 1 year after she got a scholarship to ABT's Summer Intensive program, Copeland joined ABT's Crop D Ballet, which is the lowest level in the company. Misty Copeland got lots of good roles in the Crop D Ballet, like Flower Girl and Don Quixote, Princess Florine in Sleeping Beauty, and the lead role in Firebird. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, Misty Copeland was the first African-American lady to star the role the White Swan in Swan Lake. Copeland also starred in the Disney movie The Nutcracker in the Four Realms, which was released November 2, 2018. Misty Copeland starred as the ballerina that danced the story of the Four Realms. Misty Copeland is now 33 years old and is still a principal dancer at American Ballet Theater. Although Copeland got a lot of nice roles in her life, she was bullied in her ballet life because she was much more muscular than a usual dancer. She overcame this by trying her best in dance and trying to get the role of a principal dancer. Copeland has wrote 3 books: Firebird, Life in Motion, An Unlikely Ballerina, and Ballerina Body. Misty Copeland is very inspiring to young dancers like me. Back to you guys.
Wow, Aubrey, I never knew that Misty Copeland was the first black ballerina at ABT.
Now let's have Sean pop in with a story about Twitch.
Did you know that people around the world are making about $500,000 per month on a streaming website called Twitch? Today I'll be talking to you about what Twitch is and how streamers make money on Twitch. You may be wondering what Twitch is. Twitch is a streaming website that was launched on June 6, 2011. Then Twitch was acquired by Amazon on August 25, 2014 for $970 million. As of May 2018, Twitch had 2.2 million streamers. Twitch allows people to watch all channels for free with ads. But if you want to subscribe to Twitch or any of their content creators, you have to pay a $4.99 monthly fee. This also gets rid of ads. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you won't need to pay the monthly fee for Twitch. As of May 2018, Twitch had 2.2 million streamers. According to TubeFilter, a donation is like a tip. Ad revenues will make the streamer money over time. Another way streamers can make money is through subscriptions, which pay $4.99 a month. Subscribers make streamers most of their money. One more way streamers get money is through bits. Bits are emoticons that you can buy to donate through the streamer. Ninja is one of the most popular streamers on Twitch. He makes $500,000 per month and is ranked second on the most paid streamer list on Twitch. He streams for about 10 hours a day. He has also been sponsored by Red Bull. He became popular by playing Halo, Fortnite, and the new Apex Legends. Wow, that's some serious gaming. Maybe if you dream big, you might be able to make as much money as Ninja. That's all the time we have for today. Back to you guys.
Wow, Sean, I never knew that you could make $500,000 per month on Twitch.
Now that's all the time we have for today, folks. See you next time on W Pop News.
Welcome to Well News, only the latest and greatest news.
Hello, my name is Skylar.
And my name is Nolan.
And this is Well News, where our news is splashing.
Today we have Ethan with technology,
Finn with dirt bikes,
Isabel with sports,
Madison with entertainment,
Ryan with business,
Nolan with weather,
and Skylar with pets. First, let's run over to Ethan to learn about self-tying shoes.
Have you ever wanted your shoe to tie itself? Well, here it is. Tinker Hatfield, executive designer of Nike Shoe, has just released a new self-lacing shoe. The shoe, when it comes out, will be an expensive $300 or more. The Nike shoe will come out in March this year, but there is no exact release date yet. They will be sold at every Nike store upon the release. If you get the shoe, it comes with an app for your phone. The app for your phone will be able to control the tightness of the shoe with an L and R. The L and R, you can guess, stands for left and right. The L and R tighten the left and right shoe. It looks like this behind me. As you can see, there is an L and R that will go up and down when you push on them. The tech inside is almost immediate. You need to charge the shoe for 4 hours for the full effect of it. But for a full basketball game, you only need a 15-minute charge. To me, this is not needed. But the creators of Nike say, we only use recycled shoes and other recyclables. This shoe is a remake of the 2016 version. It wasn't a huge success, but let's see if this version does any better. Back to you.
Wow, I didn't know that Nike was making a shoe out of only recycled products.
and now Finn with dirt bikes.
Have you ever wondered how fast a dirt bike can go? Well, you would be surprised to know that dirt bikes can go around 70 to 100 miles per hour depending on the kind of motor. Dirt bikes either have a two-stroke or four-stroke engines. Two-stroke engines give more raw power. Four-stroke engines create less air pollution and get better fuel mileage than two-strokes. Dirt Bikes USA is a small company that manufactures and sells its own brand of off-road motorcycles. Dirt Bikes tires have deep tread so it can grip on rough surfaces. They also have a suspension on the front wheel, so if you land hard, the suspensions will make it so the wheel doesn't bounce up. The bike has an exhaust pipe to let out the carbon dioxide that the motor produces. These seats are padded so they don't hurt your butt if you land a jump. There are many different kinds of races you can compete in on a dirt bike. Enduro races are long off-road events. Supercross and motocross take place on dirt bike courses with lots of jumps and turns. Thousands of fans turn out for the biggest races. Famous dirt biker rider Trigger Gum set the world record for the longest jump when he jumped 277.5 feet in the air in Australia on May 17, 2005. Gum wiped out on 2 other world record attempts to go 315 feet. He was seriously hurt both times, breaking his back. My experience dirt biking is amazing. It's a fun outdoor thing to do when I'm bored. Back to you guys.
I didn't know dirt bikes could go that fast. That's really cool.
Now let's slide on over to Isabel with softball.
Have you ever wanted to play softball
The Londonderry Lightning team may be looking for you. If you are between 7 to 12 years old and you are willing to try out, you might enjoy spending the summer with this travel team. There are 4 teams, 1 8U, 2 10U, and 1 12U. The playing season begins in June and ends at the end of July. The Londonderry Lightning travel teams play all over the state of New Hampshire, and some of the games are in Massachusetts and Connecticut. Brandon Burns is in charge of all teams. The red and blue Londonderry Lightning teams play against each other to compete for the right to go to state championship. Last year, the 10U blue team won and took home the title of state champions. That earned us a spot in the Base Booth Regionals tournament in New Milford, Connecticut. We didn't win, but it was a great experience. I like playing for Londonderry Lightning because we travel all over in the summer. I've learned a lot about softball since the beginning of the year. If you are interested in softball, why not try out for Londonderry Lightning?
Wow, 12 people play on one team? That's awesome.
Now let's watch Madison with movies of kindness.
Welcome. Our school has been focusing on kindness. I'm going to talk to you about some movies that show kindness and that inspires people to be kind. I have 3 movies that show it. The first movie is called Wonder. It was released on November 14th, 2017. The film tells a story of Augie, a 10-year-old boy that has Treacher Collins syndrome. This movie helped children like Michaela Hainline, who also has Treacher Collins syndrome. During the day, she has been greeted, hugged. She fits in now because kids have learned and seen it. Wonder teaches kids not to judge people by their looks. In Wonder, it shows how Augie went through hardships. He made a friend that stuck by him. It shows timeless friendships. I interviewed Sam Drazen when he visited our school to teach us about Treacher Collins syndrome. He has connections to Augie, like both having jaw surgery, their dogs having the same name, Daisy, and having people in life that aren't nice, of being left behind, but having friends. Wonder is a great film because it inspires kids to care more and think about others and their feelings. Wonder did the same thing to me, like others, helping me think about what you're going to say before you say it. Next is Soul Surfer. It came out in 2011. Bethany Hamilton got her arm taken off by a shark while surfing. She has courage and still wants to push herself by believing in herself. Kids are striving to do their best. According to Sports Stars on UCLA, she started surfing at the age of 8. She got bit on October 31st, 2003. She entered a surf contest and won. This movie is about her life of loving to surf. Another great movie is Inside Out. It shows and helps you figure out how to control your emotions through friendship or anything. It tells about a family and their emotions, to bring them together and their emotions controlling you. In the end, the family becomes close again. My favorite movie out of all is Soul Surfer because she shows a lot of courage and she keeps trying. She doesn't let loss of her arm let her down. She shows me to have confidence and strive for what you want. I hope you enjoyed these movies like I did. Now back to you guys.
I'm so glad there are movies like that.
Yeah, me too. Next, we have Ryan interviewing a construction businessman.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Ryan Bristol, and we have Tim Bristol with us.
Hi, how are you?
How did you start your construction business?
I started with my dad early on. My dad had a construction company.
Okay. Why did you choose construction?
I always enjoyed building things and helping people.
Thank you. When did you start your business?
Right after high school, I started doing construction.
Okay. If you could change your business, how would you do it and what would you be?
I really wouldn't change anything. I think I would just learn to expand and learn new products and just continue helping people.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Wow, construction is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Now on over to Noel with climate change.
Did you know that Alaska's ice is melting faster than you think? This happens for one reason: climate change. Climate change has been affecting us and the environment for many years. Climate change happens because gases get stuck in the Earth's atmosphere. This causes heat to get trapped on Earth. According to newscast.com, over the past few centuries, Alaska's average temperature has risen by 3 degrees, and the Northeast has risen by 2 degrees. Wayne Binninger, a wildlife biologist, states climate change has been happening for millions of years. Scientists have found climate change is melting on ice in cold areas, and it's throwing off animals' lifestyles. Despite climate change already happening, we can prevent it from getting worse. We can do this by producing less smoke from factories and machines. Machines and factories produce smog that stays on Earth and traps heat beneath the atmosphere, causing climate change. In conclusion, climate change can be prevented. We need to change factories and machines to stop creating smog. Climate change affects the way animals live. It melts most of the ice in cold areas. And if we don't start preserving the ice now, soon there won't be any ice to preserve. Back to you guys.
I hope we can prevent climate change from getting worse.
Let's walk over to Skylar with service dogs.
Did you know that service dogs can dial 911? This is a surprising fact for many people. Service dogs are so helpful until you take advantage of them. Recently, some people have been buying service dog coats and putting them on ordinary untrained dogs for the purpose of bringing their dogs into places where they are not normally allowed. Some of these places include food markets, restaurants, and other public places. This law-breaking act is harmful to owners of service dogs because it makes it hard for the service dogs to do their job. The way people train service dogs is mind-blowing. They get taught to grab things off food stores and carts and put them in the cart. If they're blind, they can help them cross railroads and roads or any other public places. Training a service dog can take up to 100 to 1,000 hours. That's a long time. If I were a service dog, I would be bored of my mind. But it goes to a great cause. According to current.com, so far 20 states have adopted penalties for people trying to pass off fake service dogs in public places. Service dogs have been long thought to help people with physical disabilities find some relief from their feelings. The waiting lists for these dogs are continuing to grow. My favorite fact is that they train to 100 to 1,000 hours to be a service dog. That's a long time, and when they train, it's like escaping a room without a key. That's all for today. Back to you, Nolan.
That's really cool. They train for 100 to 1,000 hours. That's impressive.
That's all the time we have for today. See you next time on World News.